The assault on American education is a multifaceted crisis. One key battleground is the curriculum. Conservative groups push for control over school teachings. They aim to restrict discussions on race, gender, and history, labeling them as critical race theory or woke ideology. They seek a more patriotic curriculum. This often includes book bans and limits on LGBTQ+ discussions.
The battle extends to parental roles in education. Groups like Moms for Liberty advocate for parental rights. They support policies giving parents more say in school curricula. Critics argue this could silence marginalized voices, leading to a less inclusive education.
This struggle has real consequences. Teachers feel pressured to censor lessons. Students lose access to diverse perspectives. This threatens a well-rounded education. It undermines the development of informed, critical citizens. The fight for American education is playing out in classrooms. The outcome will have lasting implications for generations. Protecting education's integrity ensures a diverse learning experience for all. The assault on public education extends beyond the classroom. It targets the very structure and funding of the system itself. For decades, public schools have faced chronic underfunding. This has led to larger class sizes, fewer resources, and overworked teachers. This financial strain is exacerbated by the push for privatization. Proponents of school choice argue that vouchers and charter schools offer parents more options. They believe that competition will improve education overall.
However, critics argue that these policies divert much-needed funds from already struggling public schools. They contend that privatization exacerbates inequality and undermines the principle of free, quality education for all. The Trump administration's proposed elimination of the Department of Education is a stark example of this trend. This move, while requiring congressional approval, reflects a broader push to reduce the federal role in education. Critics argue that dismantling the Department of Education would be disastrous. They point to its vital role in protecting student rights, ensuring equitable funding, and enforcing accountability standards.
The consequences of defunding and dismantling public education are dire. It creates a two-tiered system where affluent students have access to well-resourced schools while others are left behind. This undermines social mobility, perpetuates inequality, and weakens the fabric of our democracy. The assault on public education disproportionately impacts marginalized communities. Students of color, low-income students, and students with disabilities are most vulnerable to the harmful effects of budget cuts, privatization, and discriminatory policies. School choice programs often exacerbate segregation and inequality. Without adequate oversight and regulation, these programs can lead to further stratification of schools along racial and socioeconomic lines.
Students with disabilities are particularly vulnerable in a system that prioritizes competition and choice. They may face discrimination and lack access to the specialized support they need to thrive. The dismantling of the Department of Education would disproportionately harm these vulnerable populations. The department plays a crucial role in enforcing civil rights laws, ensuring equitable funding, and providing support for students with disabilities. Weakening or eliminating these protections would have devastating consequences for millions of students. The fight for equitable and accessible education is a fight for social justice. It is a fight to ensure that every child, regardless of their background or zip code, has the opportunity to reach their full potential.
The challenges facing public education are daunting but not insurmountable. We can take concrete steps to build a stronger, more equitable system for all students.
Prioritize adequate and equitable funding for public schools. Challenge tax policies that benefit the wealthy and corporations. Demand that elected officials invest in education as a public good.
Resist efforts to privatize and dismantle public education. Hold elected officials accountable for supporting strong public schools.
Fight for inclusive, honest, and empowering curriculum. Ensure all students have access to diverse perspectives and ideas. Engage in our communities and make our voices heard. Elect pro-public education candidates and hold officials accountable. The future of public education depends on our collective action and commitment. Remember, together we rise. Let's do all we can to ensure a better future for all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Blue Mindset 2.0 for more insightful videos. Your support helps us bring you valuable content.